So we're here at a 3-year-old hedgerow at Headwaters Farm. This was something that we established. It was just grass here, and we started by mowing it. And then we rolled out some agricultural cardboard, a product known as Weed Guard Plus. And then we planted little live stakes like we're about to take right here. I think we did 2 rows every 24 inches, and the plantings were 24 inches apart, and the rows were about the same. And so we've planted just native species here. This is red flowering currant, and we're gonna go ahead and take some live stakes from it. Yeah, the maintenance has been minimal. So we planted directly into the cardboard after putting a light dusting of wood chips on top of that. And that helps keep the cardboard in place and then suppress the grass a little bit longer. But after that, all we've done is mow. And we probably come through and mow maybe twice during the summertime. And other than that, you know, if blackberry comes up, we'll cut that at the base with the pruners, maybe a little bit of thistle here and there. But otherwise, this is 100% hands off.
Did these different shrubs, did you clip them first year?
No.
No?
No, we've done no pruning other than the live staking that we do. If anything starts to encroach on the roadway, we just treat that like a weed and we mow it. So we do a little bit of pruning that way, just with the flail mower. But yeah, no, we didn't clip anything back.
And then how many species of shrubs do you have in this hedgerow?
I think we counted 7 earlier today.
I see Oregon grape.
Oregon grape, elderberry, 9-bark, ocean spray, red flowering currant, Douglas spirea, and twinberry.
Awesome.
There might be a couple more in there. Okay, so what we have here is just some landscape fabric that we put down over the French drain. There's rock right here where I'm standing, about maybe a foot's worth of rock, and then there's soil here. So because this is a wetter area, we thought it could be a good site for a hedgerow, and because we already have some weed management effectively in place. So Nick came through and he burned holes with our flame weeder, and then we planted out some live stakes last year. Some of them took, some of them didn't. And we planted them in blocks, so when they bloom, they're easier for pollinators to find.
Okay.
I think we were just eyeballing it, shooting for about 18 inches.
Okay.
Um,
And Nick, how much of that hardwood cutting goes in the ground?
Really as much as possible. I mean,
Okay.
like a couple of feet would probably be ideal. The deeper the better.
Okay. And this is from year-old stems, generally?
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
We want to do younger stems, and we look for the little, what are the bumps called? Yeah,
Nodes or-
I can never remember.
I don't know.
Yeah, we look for younger branches.
I just go by growth nodes.
Yeah,
By growth.
yeah. I was told that these bumps are basically clusters of cells that are waiting for instruction. So when you stick them in the ground, some of them will be like, "Oh, time to root."
Reproducing
Yeah.
cells.
Yep.
Quickly reproducing cells, which 2,4-D kills.
Yeah, this year when it got really hot, we actually let the grass grow up, thinking it might shade it a little bit. Couldn't tell if it was like taking more moisture or if it was providing some sort of a little bit of a shelter, but
Yeah, we don't have any data on that.
we're just kind of winging it most of the time.
Okay.
One of the survivors. Alright, so we're done with 9-bark.
Yeah.
Remember what's next? Should I grab something else?
We're gonna do these. Yeah, and then sometimes after we stick them in the ground, if we have the time, we'll come back and cut them so there's just a little bit of foliage, just to slow down the transpiration process and increase the likelihood that they'll have the time to get their roots established, and you know, there'll be a balance there between the root mass and then the biomass above ground.
Yeah, because that's a lot of growth.
So you're gonna go here, here.
So it's great they're able to use.
Okay, so we're standing here looking at about 3 acres of mixed cover crop winter blend that we put in probably at the end of September or early October this year. It's a mix of legumes and cereal grains. I think we did, how many species on this? At least 5.
5 or 6.
Yeah, so we have fava beans, Austrian winter peas, crimson clover, either rye or triticale. I don't remember what we put in this field. Vetch, common vetch as well. And our goals here are really to protect the soil over winter, add biomass, fix some nitrogen, suppress weeds, and then of course, whenever we can, we'll let the cover crop run until it blooms, so we have some forage for insects and birds. Yeah, so this field in particular is actually going to be fallow this year. So we're gonna let this run for as long as we can. We've been experimenting with no-till in some other areas where we let the cover crop effectively finish, lignify, and then we run it over with the flail mower without mowing it. So the roller on the flail mower will roll it down. It's not actually crimping it, but it's just knocking it down. And then it dies, and we've seen some really good results in terms of weed management that way.
And what's the difference between rolling and crimping?
Yeah, so crimping would be a different implement that was actually breaking the stem of the plant every so many inches. The roller just knocks it over. But because it's run its cycle and it's produced its seed head, ideally it's not viable yet, but it's produced, you know, immature seed head, it will knock the plant over and then it will just die there. Yeah, so we use cover crops in every corner of the farm that's not in production over winter, and often a lot of the farm during the summer as well. And not only do our farmers implement cover crops on their own individual plots, anything that we're fallowing or anything that the district's managing, we'll put into a diverse cover crop usually around September and try to get it established before those first rains, or have it germinate with those first rains. We use the cover crops for a lot of different reasons. We're trying to mitigate soil erosion, we're trying to add biomass, we're trying to suppress weeds, we fix nitrogen, and then of course we let the blooms happen where we can, so then there's some forage for insects.